It all started with what was supposed to be a simple family dinner. My sister Emily had invited me over to her house, asking me to finally try the new recipe she'd been bragging about. I agreed, partly because I missed her, and partly because I wanted to patch things up with her husband, Mark. He and I had never really gotten along. There was always some tension, an unspoken rivalry, sharp remarks hidden under fake smiles. Still, I thought I could handle one dinner. How bad could it be? From the moment I arrived, I could feel the atmosphere was heavy. Mark barely greeted me, muttering something before going back to the kitchen. Emily, as usual, tried to keep things smooth. She smiled, poured me a drink, and started making small talk. But beneath her cheerful tone, I could sense she was tense too. We sat down, and everything seemed fine at first. A few jokes, some talk about work, and Emily fussing over the food. But as the night went on, Mark's sarcasm grew sharper. "So," he said, smirking, "how's life in the real world? Or are you still trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up?" I forced a laugh, ignoring the jab. Emily shot him a warning look, but he just leaned back, clearly enjoying the discomfort. I stayed calm. I wasn't there to fight. I reminded myself over and over, for Emily's sake. But then Mark pushed further. "You know, Emily's always worried about you. Says you can't seem to hold a job or a relationship. Must be exhausting for her to keep defending you." That one hit harder. I glanced at Emily, expecting her to shut him down. Instead, she just pressed her lips together and said nothing. I tried to let it slide, but Mark wasn't done. By dessert, the sarcasm turned into outright insults. "No wonder nobody takes you seriously. You just drift. Always depending on someone else. Maybe that's why you're still single, huh?" I felt the heat rising in my chest. I stood quietly saying, "Enough. I'm not doing this." But that seemed to be what he wanted. He stood too, towering over me. The argument escalated, voices rising, Emily trying weakly to calm us down. And then, before I could even process it, Mark shoved me. I stumbled, but I didn't fall. I told him to back off. He didn't. The next thing I knew, he swung his fist. The impact was brutal. Pain shot across my face, and I felt warm blood running down my cheek. When I tried to step back, he lunged again, shoving me so hard my shoulder twisted unnaturally. The pain was blinding. I knew instantly something was wrong. By the time I managed to push him off and stagger toward the wall, my vision was blurry. My shirt was stained, my shoulder screamed in agony. And Emily, she just stood there, frozen. I turned to her, gasping, my voice trembling. "Are you seriously going to let this happen?" For a moment, I thought she would rush to me, help me, defend me, the way siblings are supposed to. But instead she whispered, her face pale but her voice sharp, "You should have kept your mouth shut." My heart broke more deeply than my body hurt. I couldn't believe it. My own sister, the girl who once swore she'd always protect me, who used to sneak candy to me when we were kids, who cried at my graduation because she was proud, was now standing beside the man who had just assaulted me, blaming me for provoking him. I staggered to the door, clutching my shoulder. Emily didn't follow. Mark muttered something under his breath, triumphant. The night air hit me like ice when I stepped outside. I leaned against my car, shaking, the pain unbearable. But the pain in my chest, the betrayal, was worse. At the hospital, the doctor confirmed my shoulder was dislocated, my cheekbone bruised. I sat under the harsh fluorescent lights, staring at the bandages, thinking about Emily's words. "You should have kept your mouth shut." Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "I'm sorry." Just blame. In the days that followed, she called once. I didn't answer. She texted twice, short and cold. "You made things worse. You embarrassed us." As if I was the problem. I realized then that Mark had poisoned her view of me long ago. That every little story she told him about me, every weakness I admitted, he twisted and used as a weapon, and she let him. The truth was, I hadn't just lost control of the night. I had lost my sister. Weeks turned into months. She didn't visit. Didn't apologize. When family asked why I skipped gatherings, I brushed it off. I couldn't bring myself to expose the ugliness of what had happened, but I carried the weight of that night everywhere. Eventually, I decided enough was enough. Family means loyalty. It means standing up for one another. And if my own sister chose not to see that, if she chose to stand by a man who broke me and then blamed me for it, then maybe I needed to redefine family. Because family isn't just blood. Family is who shows up when you're bleeding, who takes your side when the world turns against you. And that night, my sister showed me exactly where she stood. I've built distance since then. It's not easy. Holidays feel emptier. Childhood memories sting. But my self-respect means more than pretending everything's fine. Emily's silence told me the truth. And her truth hurt worse than Mark's fists ever could.